That's Twisted.
This is Mark McNease with my co-host Rick Rose, and you're listening to another edition of The Twist. Welcome to The Twist podcast, everybody. Show number 72. This is Mark here, and I've got Rick on the line already out there in Madison, Wisconsin, aren't you, Rick?
Live from the border of Madison, Wisconsin, Sun Prairie, home of Georgia O'Keeffe. Yes, I live right on the border of the two.
And you're in a new house too. You got a house there.
Yeah, I'm actually outside of the house on the porch of the new house, to be accurate. But your point being, yes, I do have a new home, and I'm very excited. Thank you, Mark.
I'm excited for you. Home ownership is a big thing. It's like the American dream. But I'm glad you didn't buy it in 2008.
Why? Oh,
but the housing burst bubble.
Yeah, well, as you may recall, because you've seen several of my homes, I was like flipping homes back in that day. Remember, like 12, 13, and then all of a sudden 2008 hits, and I see all of my mortgage people going to jail on news clips.
That's good though. If they were crooked, they must have been.
I know, but I didn't know they were. You know what I'm saying? They were nice people.
Now I want to hit a couple things before we get into the show. Shout out to my sisters and my niece and my grandnieces. There were 8 of us. Well, 6 of them, and then me and Frank yesterday. Had a fabulous time. They visited the house. We went to Peddler's Village and Lambertville, where my mystery is set, my murder mystery that's doing very well. It was a great day. And then speaking of that, I want to thank all the Twisters. That's what we can call our legion of fans now.
Oh, I like it.
You like that, Twisters? I want to thank the Twisters who requested the book, because I managed to give away 8 Kindle copies. All 8 of them are gone. And lastly, I don't know if I mentioned this 2 weeks ago, but the daughter of Jack Palance, Holly Palance, who is a fabulous woman, is narrating the audiobook. That'll be out shortly. So I'm really happy and excited about that.
I didn't know she did that work. I know Jack. I call him Jack Palance.
It might be Palance, because she mentioned to me in an email, she had pronounced my name McNease. And I said it's McNease, but people do that. They think it sounds like a Z. But anyways, I let her know it's McNease. And she said, she understood, because she's always had that same problem with her last name. So you're probably right. It probably is Palance. And
You're welcome.
I've been saying Palance, but thank you. Should I ask her? Yeah. I should ask her.
No, it is Palance. And isn't he the one that on the Academy Awards
did the one-arm thing. So Holly Palance, thank you for correcting me, Rick.
You're welcome,
I want to get that kind of thing right.
Yes, Mr. McNease. You know what I get all the time? Rick Ross.
Rick Ross?
Rick Ross. Yeah, and I walk in and I'm like, I am not Rick Ross. Look at me. Hello.
No, not at all.
No.
You ready to do the show, or you got any announcements of your own?
No announcements, but that's great. Thank you, Twisters, for listening, and really appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you want to reach us for any reason at all, we're at thetwistpodcast@outlook.com. So.
Oh, I do have a big announcement. It's kind of a news story, but for me, it's more news. Tickets go on pre-sale today for the new Lady Gaga experience happening in Las Vegas. Folks, go. We're buying 8 tickets today, Mark. We're going on New Year's Eve. Donna and her girlfriend, Lisa, myself, and a couple other friends. Donna is my female version of Mark McNease, for those of you that don't know. Yes, Lady Gaga has announced she is starting at Park MGM Resort, 2 shows starting December 28th. It'll be like a 6-month journey out there, Mark. She's going to be there full time, but there's 2 different versions. One of her just on the piano playing her songs and other covers, and the other one's going to be an experience called Enigma. I can't wait.
I also think it's great that she's letting you go to the show and watch and not be a dancer for that. Aren't you one of the dancers?
Well, I was. Mark, gosh, why you tell everybody my secrets? Yes, I'm no longer allowed to dance, but that's okay.
Well, I know you hurt yourself, so it's okay. She's very athletic. Okay. Now, we can't not talk about the big political stuff from yesterday. Congress is going to get its first Muslim woman as Rashida Tlaib. It's Tlaib. Anyway, she won the nomination. It's going to uncontested, so she's going to win. She's going to be the congressperson for John Conyers' seat. He was the old congressman who'd been in there for 100 years and was groping women and stuff. So she's, I think it's awesome. We're going to have a Muslim woman in Congress.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, and big stuff happened in Ohio, too. I didn't see all the details.
Well, it's very close. I mean, the Republican won by like 1,700 votes, and of course, our president and they're painting it as a great victory, and it wasn't. He won by 1,700 votes, and they're still counting absentee ballots, provisional ballots, and if it's less than 0.5%, there's an automatic recount. So in all probability, the Republican will remain the winner of this contest, but it was very close in a district that Trump won by 11 points. So I think we're going to take back the House. I just truly believe that.
Yeah, my friend Mike was telling me yesterday. The headline read, "Blue movement headed to the homeland."
Blue movement. Oh, I love that.
The blue movement is headed to the homeland, like where I am, Wisconsin, Michigan, all those states that were not so well behaved.
Wisconsin used to be super blue. I love Wisconsin was like a beacon of progressivism, and then something happened.
I don't know what happened, but on the 14th is our primary, and it'll be interesting to follow because, of course, it's gubernatorial, and Scott Walker, who's got national fame for busting unions, etc., is up against whoever wins the Democratic primary. And there's an African-American man running, so it'll be our first black governor, and he's a retired firefighter, and he's talking a lot about bringing unions back and erasing racism. So he's kind of in the progressive movement. We'll see. He's probably going to get my support.
And lastly, Missouri, speaking of Scott Walker and unions, Missourians voted down not right to work. Anyways, there was a union. The unions won in Missouri last night.
Really?
Yeah, there was a ballot initiative that was pro-union, and so that they, boy, I wish I had the details in front of me. But it was big news. It was big news. I mean, people are reacting to what's happened in the last 2 years. I'm very excited.
Well, that's interesting. Well, I used to live in Missouri, and so
Missouri.
Well, they banned. Here it is, because it's just at your fingerprint or thumbprint. Missouri voters reject law banning compulsory union fees.
Yes,
that's what it was.
I like it.
Yes.
I like that. Now, go ahead.
Well, can I share?
You do share, and then we're going to hit the news.
All right. Well, this is kind of the news. I just want to say it's kind of stupid, but I went out to look at the news, and I saw the headline about Ohio, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to go there. But I was interested in two things. One was the news story about Caitlyn Jenner coming up, apparently addressing her rumored relationship with Sophia Hutchins. Jenner is 68. Hutchins is 22. She's a transgender Pepperdine University graduate. Yeah, she's a 22-year-old transgender Pepperdine University 2018 graduate. And okay. Caitlyn took her to the ESPY Awards this year, and there was a lot of speculation. I just found it interesting. It's like 46 years between the two.
Well, that's kind of like Sarah Paulson and Holland. What's her name? Laura Holland?
No. Holland, yeah, Taylor
Holland. Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, I totally support age differences in relationships.
Well, the best I ever did was 22 years. That wasn't so bad.
Well, Jim was 13 years older than me.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yeah, we start with older and then, well, you're still with
because
older.
At some point you become the older man. I realized when I was 40, I am the older man. So Frank's only a year and something older than me.
Well, that's not bad. Mine was, 22 years. Also, real quick, I also did see, this is interesting. Washington Press had a story about Aaron Rodgers, speaking of coming from Wisconsin, commenting on the whole brouhaha between LeBron James and the president. And he basically said, let's not give it any more attention. LeBron can fight his own battle. The president's just stupid is what he implied. He said, don't do it. But here's the first thing I ever saw. I read this story on Facebook, Mark, and you'll find this interesting because we've had these discussions with you as a writer about Huffington Post and aggregated news and who pays for it. But in the Washington Press, this warning came up, kind of like, and it said Facebook's new algorithm changes have decimated the reach and the ad revenue of independent news sources like our own. Please become a patron of our news website and help us pay our writers by making a small contribution.
Wow, I like that. Well, they need revenue sources. I understand new models.
Yeah, but I just found that weird. Anyway,
it is weird now. But you know what's also weird? And I don't find this good news at all. A company accused of diluting Chesapeake blue crab meat with imported crab.
Oh, gross.
Right. It's I'm looking for the company. Oh, anyways, it's a company. And I make crab cakes, or I was when I was in seafood. I was making them at work. And then I noticed that the cans on it said it was from Indonesia. So Maryland, of course, is famous for their crabs. But apparently there's a major crab company there, crab cake supplier, that is using they're mixing it. It's like cutting cocaine with something. They're cutting their crab with and it said it's not even the same species. So I find that pretty creepy.
Well, that is creepy. You want to hear what's creepy too? This Kylie Jenner thing. Speaking of the Jenners, I'm on a Jenner fix.
Yeah, let's do the Jenners. We don't do them enough.
She's on her way to make $1 billion and be the first female billionaire.
Why? For what?
And well, she's a model.
Okay.
Kylie is. And I hear what you're saying for her beauty, and she is beautiful. I mean, I
But
hadn't
what does
seen her
she
in
sell
years.
that's worth $1 billion? She's not getting paid $1 billion to model.
No, it's just her,
Her
her
clothing
net
line
worth.
or something?
No,
Okay.
I don't know. That's a good question, but her net worth is going to be $1 billion, but she's not quite there. So someone started a GoFundMe page for her. Can you believe it? To
Oh,
try to
sad.
raise 20 million or whatever is going to take her there. But she'll be also not only the first female billionaire, but the youngest billionaire, knocking Mark Zuckerman out at
Wow.
her age to do it. I think she's mid-20s. But what I find interesting also is she does, when you ask what she does sell, well, here's part of that answer. She makes $1 million per paid Instagram post.
Really? I was going to say I'm
People
going to
don't
have to I'm going
realize,
to have to do a Kylie Jenner deep dive because I just can't imagine what this chick is selling that's worth $1 billion. But
oh,
okay. And
jeez.
now who? Oh
That,
well.
the Kylie Jenner deep dive, that does not sound right, Mark. But anyway, but anyway, so yeah, like I didn't know that. I mean, people don't know that celebrities get paid for their endorsements, like posting on Instagram.
Oh, I knew
Selena
that. I
Gomez,
knew they were getting
Selena,
paid to do that.
it's crazy. She makes $1 million. Selena Gomez makes 800,000 per post. Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player from Portugal, makes $750,000. That's a lot of moolah
We
for
got to
just.
get in it. We got to get on Instagram, Rick.
You got to get in it to win it, Mark.
Mount Everest is a quote fecal time bomb.
Oh, geez.
One man's idea for handling 14 tons of poop. It's just two quick things. In the roughly 2 months that it takes to climb Mount Everest, the average alpinist will have produced nearly 60 pounds of excrement.
Oh,
This
wow.
season, porters who work on Mount Everest carry down 14 tons of human waste to base camp. And there's this guy. His solution is use a biogas digester to turn mountaineer excrement into something more useful. So, I'm all for that. It's very green, but who knew that? You never think about that. All these mountain climbers where they're doing their stuff. It's an
Mm.
environmental problem.
Well, I did think about it when I was on the trail walking the other day and Mother Nature hit. I'm like, wow, what do I do now? It happens, but, I just made it
Did
home.
you use a corn cob? What'd you use?
Well, I was in the. Can we move on?
No, but
I,
I pee all the time when we go for long walks out here in the woods.
well,
Because
that's
who
different.
doesn't?
Number one, it's the woods, and number two, it's pee, and number three, you're 60 years old. God forbid it happens.
Well, and I'm glad I'm a man because I wouldn't want some snake, slipping up in there.
Are you back on the deep dive? Let me tell you something. You read that story with great delight, and I skipped two stories. Here's their headlines because I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not going there on the show. One is, here's why your dog always stares at you while taking a poop.
Who wants your approval?
I don't know. I didn't do the story, Mark,
Cats
because
are the opposite. They don't look. They just look stare into space.
and the other one I totally ignored was the Wisconsin story. I wasn't going to go there because you get creeped out. Wisconsin man has his legs and hands amputated after a lick from a dog causes severe infection.
Oh my God, that's so sad. That's horrible. Well, here there was a man in New York City who jumped out of a freezer and he died. And he was a cold case. Here's the headline is what made it. A man who jumped out of freezer and died was cold case suspect.
Mm.
So this guy was like a suspect in a cold case, and he was not mentally right, and he was hiding out in a freezer at a restaurant, and he jumped out, and they attacked him. The people that were working there, jumped him or whatever, and he had a heart attack and died.
Oh gosh, that's a sad story.
It is very sad,
Mm. Ding ding. Taking it to the other coast, big forest fires going on in California. That's sad. Largest in history. I think 16 fires combined is eating it up. But on the positive side, last time we talked, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the Brady home being up for sales. Out in
Oh, I know Lance
North
Bass
Hollywood
felt
area.
really used, but go ahead. No, he did.
Well,
It's like they used him to get the bid higher, and then he didn't win the house.
I didn't hear that.
Oh,
When was
yeah.
that? That just happened?
Yeah,
Huh.
Lance Bass bid on the house, and he even tweeted or whatever that he was going to get it. He was so excited, and then he was outbid. But he felt that the fact that he had bid on it was used to get a higher offer.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, here he's got two other homes he could look at. The title of this story is Bel Air Homes Duel to Become America's Most Expensive. There are two homes in the market in Bel Air, both vying to be sold for the largest amount of money. How much do you think? They're $8 million in comparison. One's at a certain price, one's $8 million more. What do you think they are? Any guess?
You mean whose?
No, how much? How much do you think these houses are going to go for? They're big.
75 million and the 8 million above
No,
it.
close. 180 million for the lesser of the two. 188 million for the more expensive one.
Is
The
it?
current
Did
record
Kylie
holder.
Jenner own these?
No, they're not. The one is owned by, it's a ritzy Bel Air district of Los Angeles. One is by a developer, I think. One is by a celebrity plastic surgeon named Raj Konadia.
Wow.
He's asking 180 million. The other is just up the street from him in this Bel Air district. But the record before that, you were close, was 137 million, sold in 2014. It was an estate in the Hamptons, sold to a hedge fund manager. But the homes, when you look at the features, one of the homes is 34,000 square feet. Now, you know, I owned a big house once. You know that.
Yeah, it was haunted, too.
It was haunted. It was 14,000 square feet. This is 20,000 square feet bigger. It's got a 2,000 bottle wine room in it. It sits on 1.2 acres. It's got a waterfall.
That's nothing. 1.2 acres is
Herb
nothing.
garden. I know. It's not a lot of land, but the house takes up most of it. The other house, which is a little bigger but less expensive, is 38,000 square feet with 12 bedrooms and elevators lined with crocodile skin. There you go.
But like, I'm thinking,
Beautiful.
what plastic surgeon makes that much money? He must be doing the Jenners, don't you think?
I wonder.
All of them.
That's a good. We got some deep diving to do, Mark, because that's a good question.
Speaking of Kylie Jenner,
ring the
Ring,
bell,
ring,
because
ring.
I lost my bell. You got to ring yours.
I know you got to get another one.
I gotta get
Maybe
another
for
one.
Christmas or when we win.
Yeah, it'd be a nice
when
gift.
we win an Emmy, you know,
All
for
right, I'll
something
wait
else
till
we're doing.
Emmy.
The real bombshell of Beyonce's Vogue piece should not be that she said the word fupa. Apparently, Beyonce, she was guest editor of Vogue, and of course, she did an amazing job. First black photographer for that magazine did the cover, but she said in the interview that she was fine with her fupa, F-U-P-A, and it caused like this Twitter storm. And if you look it up, it's for women who've had children. It's called something
fat above your stomach.
fatty upper pussy area, but they call it
right.
pubic area to be correct or whatever. So anyways, I guess that was a big shocker that she would use an acronym like that. But anyways.
Well. My story is this. It's kind of gross. In Vienna, Austria, the subway had reached high temperatures of 95 degrees. So the operators handed out 14,000 deodorants. I think that's pretty cool. They just walked up and down all day long and handed out these free deodorants.
Where was this at? Because it's very
This
needed.
is over in, it's very cultural too. Vienna, Austria, Mark.
Have you ever been in a subway next to somebody who needed that?
No, I think I'm going to
have.
start when I come. I bet you should carry them in your bag and hand them out to people.
Now let's start winding down on the headlines for time constraints. Morgan, you sent me what?
While you're looking, I'm going to throw one in.
No, I have some. Go for it. I have a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
I print them
new
out.
Calendar for
I'm
20,
old school. I waste paper.
Okay, excuse me. I don't. Mine are all on the phone.
No,
and I'm
I
going to
can't
start
do that.
walking, talking, and reading them on my phone next week.
You're an accident waiting to happen.
I know. It's pretty dangerous. It's in the cornfield, Mark.
What is?
No, run in where I walk.
Oh, okay.
What am I going to run into?
Oh, I asked you about the corn cobs. How appropriate.
I know. You didn't know that, huh? Yeah.
No, but maybe that's why you do it. I don't know.
No, I don't. A new calendar for 2019 is titled, I just want you to know this, Dad Bods and Dogs Calendar. You know, the big new thing, like if you look at dating websites and stuff, people call themselves a dad dog.
Yeah.
Did you know this?
Yeah, some stuff like that.
Or a dog dad or something like a dog daddy or something. Like I'm watching a guy right now with his Springer Spaniel walking by. He must be a dog daddy. Anyways, that's the nature of this calendar. It's stupid. It's called Dad Bods and Dogs Calendars. Photographer is Ricky Beeson. It's just the uplifting help our furry friends need. Who the hell cares? Money goes to Dallas, Texas area dog rescues.
Well, it's kind of nice, and you know it's not gay because if it was, it would be daddy bods.
Yeah, daddy bods and doggy dogs.
Gay men call older men daddies. Speaking of gay, Morgan Fairchild and Soap Notables film new LGBT series Melange. You sent me that. Talk about it.
I love it.
Talk about it.
No, I love it. It's just, well, I don't know. You got more information. I just find it interesting because, you know, it's soap opera related.
Well,
but,
and it's and it's like, did they steal our idea?
I know.
I think so.
We're not talking about our
No,
idea.
we're not, because people will steal this shit. We're not talking about it until it's a lockdown.
I think Morgan Freeman still no, she's just acting in
Morgan
it.
Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan. What's her name?
Morgan Fairchild.
Oh, geez, big difference. Don't screw that up.
Now I'm gonna let's hit a few real quick here and get to our big topics.
I got a good one. Upcoming Star Wars Episode 9 will feature unused footage of Carrie Fisher. I don't like this, Mark. They
Yeah,
said
that's weird.
they want to give a truly satisfying conclusion to the character of Leia, but she died in December 2016, as we know. And Abrams is directing it, J.J. Abrams again, and they got approval, and they're gonna use her footage. I do not like this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It doesn't feel like an homage.
No.
So here's a couple. I'm just going to do a couple and then throw them on the floor. Steven Seagal was appointed by Russia as a special envoy to the U.S. He looks like he cut off his ponytail. I can't tell. And I'm not down on ponytails. I think we should all express ourselves absolutely how we want to. But, you know, he cut it off. Or it's hiding behind. He's got it tucked down in his collar. Too little, too late. Bankruptcy booms among older Americans. You know, I used to do the LGBTSR thing. Maybe because I'm going to be 60, I'm not so into, you know, getting all into being old. But anyways, the bankruptcies are way up among people over 55. And it's a sad state of affairs, just like health insurance for older people. It's just... something's got to change, and I hope that this blue puddle I'm going to use that in the title, is a blue wave, because we've got to go in a different direction here. We're all going to just be working till we're dead. I mean, literally. Like, there's a guy at work that I work with. He's 77 years old. He has to work. He's got Social Security, but he said it covers his mortgage. That's it. So he's working at 77. He's probably going to die behind, you know, loading chickens into the rotisserie.
That's crazy. Oh. Well,
But
I got one. What? Huh?
No, go for it.
The New York to London distance may now take 3.5 hours. There's a new supersonic travel coming back. Boeing is working on it with a couple of startups, and they're racing to make flying faster than the Concorde even. So that's being developed. I found that super interesting. Here's one. In New Jersey, a woman said she was forced to kill a rabid fox after the animal bit her leg and continued to gnaw her flesh despite her
Oh, my
efforts
God.
to escape, so she had to shoot it. That was, I don't know if it's near you. It's called
I'm
Pittsgrove
glad she had a
Township.
gun, though.
Yeah, thank God.
Well, we
Pittsgrove
just had a rabies thing here. I mean, we didn't have rabies, but we got a bat problem in the house every August because they breed, and you cannot exterminate them. They're protected. They're great for the environment. But we had a bat in the living room. I opened the door. It flew out because a friend of mine said that's all you have to do if you got a window or a door. And then there was one in the laundry room, in the basement, which is a weird place for a bat to be. And I opened the cellar door, and that flew out. But then my cat, Jessica, at 5 o'clock in the morning, is like yowling. And I thought, this poor cat, she's got a tumor or something. And I opened the door, and she's got a bat in her mouth.
Oh, God, she did not.
She had a dead bat in her mouth. So I called animal control, and it turns out that state law requires them to come get the bat because we could have dropped it off somewhere to be tested. So lovely lady from animal control came out and took the bat, and then we had to take the cats in for boosters. And the woman that works at the vet, and then I'll shut up about this, she told me that she was recently scratched by a kitten who turned out to be rabid.
Oh, my God. Are you being serious? This is scary stuff.
Well, everybody that works there had to go for the shots. And most insurance doesn't cover it. And you know how much it cost for a series of rabies shots? They were covered because it happened at work, $25,000.
Oh, come on, Mark.
No, it's rabies shots. It's not a vaccination. Rabies shots to treat it are extremely expensive, and most insurance will not pay for it, apparently because it's your own fault that you came into contact with a rabid bat or cat.
Oh, my God. Well, Jessica didn't know better.
No, she didn't know better, and she's vaccinated, and the incidence of rabies in bats is like less than 1%. It's very, very low. It's just, I'm just tired of the bats.
I'm just surprised she could catch one like that. That's
well, that was the only thing that I was concerned about, because I thought she probably didn't. I was in the kitchen right before then giving them treats to get them so they don't bother me in the middle of the night. And there was no bat in the kitchen flying around, so I'm thinking maybe she got it on the floor, in which case you should be a little concerned, because a bat on the floor or in the daytime could very well be a sick bat.
Oh, my God. Or could have hit its head and fell down.
Now,
anyway,
I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready for the big tops. How about you?
Oh, yeah, me too. But I do want to say we saw this one coming. So consumer genetic testing company 23andMe, which is like the DNA test, we saw this coming when you warned me not to do it, because when you do it, you sign over your rights to your DNA. You warned me about this.
Yeah.
Well, they announced on Wednesday, 2 weeks ago, it's an older story, but it's still valid to talk about, that GlaxoSmithKline, the big pharmaceutical company, purchased their company for $300 million stake. So that means, I know, you know where I'm headed with this.
Yeah.
So now that company knows everyone's DNA that ever tested on 23andMe, and they say, oh, we're using it, we're going to collaborate together to create novel treatments and cure, and make cures for different diseases like rabies or whatever. I don't know.
And I personally think people do it I just don't understand the desire to say that I'm, 12% Eastern European. Like, who cares?
I don't care.
But anyways, you ready for the big tops?
Yeah. Let's go.
I sort of have two of them because they're really important.
Well, they are important. Now, far more important than this last one I'm going to sneak in. A Florida woman arrested after her pet spider monkey allegedly attacked Home Depot employees.
Oh, she took it with her in a bag?
Yeah, she took it. Its name was Spanky. Well, animal people, like you talked about earlier, had to come and take it away because this one Spanky jumped out of the shopping cart and grabbed the Home Depot cashier's shirt and left red marks on the cashier's shoulder and back.
So there's a cashier who's getting rabies shots.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I work in a grocery store, and unless it's a helping animal, whatever you call them.
Yeah. Service animal.
Service animal. Please don't bring your goddamn dog into the grocery store. And I see it, but especially women with these little yappy dogs. They're perfectly nice dogs, but they got them in their shoulder bags and crap. I mean, please don't bring your fucking dog into the grocery store.
I was at a restaurant the other day, and a man had his dog sitting on the stool next to him at the bar, just sitting there like a person. And then it had a hacking fit, like a cough or something happened.
Oh, great! And then it threw up on the stool.
I'm over it. So over this.
Okay. I'll do one biggie. You do yours, and then it's really more of a final thoughts on aging because we both had a bunch of stuff going on in our lives recently. So my big topic is the press and the media. In the Constitution, one of our first amendments, our first rights is the right to a free press. I mean, it's essential, and they knew that. The founders knew that because they had come from countries where the king could do what Donald Trump wants to do and basically shut you down or have your head cut off if he didn't like what you said about him. So a free press. And nowadays, people use media to be synonymous with the press. I don't consider it the same thing at all. But we need a free press, and if you don't like what they're saying, that's okay. Go move to another country. This is America. But Trump, of course, in his authoritarian techniques, if he's sophisticated enough to have them. And I sort of think he is, at least instinctually. He's constantly attacking the press, and eventually one of these reporters is going to get killed. I mean, I think it's inevitable. And there was an op-ed by Brett Stevens in the New York Times saying that sooner or later somebody's going to get killed and Donald Trump will have blood on his hands. And he got all these hate. He wrote something critical of the president, and he just got blasted with hate emails and hate messages. And one of his voicemails said, quote, "Hey Brett, what do you think? Do you think the pen is mightier than the sword, or that the AR is mightier than the pen?"
Oh wow.
The man continued, quote, "I don't carry an AR, but once we start shooting you fuckers, you aren't going to pop off like you do now. You're worthless. The press is the enemy of the United States people." Where do we hear that almost every day? And you know what? Rather than me shoot you, I hope a Mexican and even better yet, I hope a N-word shoots you in the head dead. And this is not an isolated incident. This is the kind of stuff that our president and many of his supporters, not all of them, but many of them, they chuck in this. They revel in it. He's divisive. He held these rallies, which is so Nazi Germany. I can't, it's vulgar and awful. But they're angry people. You see the images of them giving fingers to the camera, and I don't want that kind of anger anywhere near me. But an awful lot of people are filled with it, and I guess. And then he was attacking LeBron James and Don Lemon, and he uses a very old trope. Now I heard some supporter on a panel of his on a panel saying, well, he calls white people dumb too. There's a difference. Referring to especially black people as having inferior intelligence goes way back. It goes way back. It's like referring to them as monkeys, which Roseanne basically did. So no, there's more going. It's racism. It's racism, and I'm really over people denying that they're racist and denying that Trump is racist and the things he said are racist. They are absolutely racist. And Don Lemon said, and then I'm going to stop with this one. Don Lemon said in his response to Trump, quote, "Let me not mince words here. The president traffics in racism and is fueled by bullying. President Trump is trying a divide and conquer strategy here, and here's how it goes. He divides by race and tries to conquer decency by smearing and besmirching the truth and the people who fight to uphold it. Referring to African Americans as dumb is one of the oldest canards of America's racist past and present, that black people are of inferior intelligence. Unlike this president who lashes out wildly at anyone who criticizes him, LeBron James, in addition to being a brilliant black man, a superstar in his sport, and a hero to his community, is taking the high road, which is exactly where he belongs." So that's one of my quotes. We can't stop pretending, and we can't allow these people, I don't like that term either, but to just keep pretending they're not racist. Of course they are. Of course they're fucking racist. They were racist when they kept saying Obama wasn't born in America, you know? It's like a gay person refusing to, like, denying they're gay while they're giving somebody a blowjob. Give me a break. You know? Come on.
No, I hear you.
Did you like that analogy though?
I did. I'm still back on the deep.
I'm not a homosexual. I'm going to vote for all these right-wing anti-gay shit. I'm sucking this guy's dick, but I'm not gay.
It is horrible. Well, your story is well taken, and it's creeping in, and the more we don't address it, the more norm it becomes, and the more rights, the more it becomes okay to do, and it's not. So I'm going to talk about RV use. It's a little different than your story, but
I come from the RV capital of the world, by the way, Elkhart, Indiana. Go ahead.
I didn't know that. Really?
Yep. They're manufactured there. A lot of them. That's where all the town's millionaires came from, was the RV industry. But go ahead.
I didn't know that. Well, and I come from the land of Winnebago, which are RVs, and Lake Winnebago is where I was born up in Fond du Lac.
How can I Winnebago?
Winnebago. Rutabaga. You can win a
Winnebago.
Rutabaga. I'm going to the farmer's market. Winnebago?
Yeah.
Want a Winnebago with your Winnebago? Well, RV ownership is up, and it's not that stereotype of Cousin Eddie, the backwoods, beer swilling, flatulence-loving Randy Quaid character from Christmas Vacation. Forbes magazine started their story about this because Forbes magazine's even writing about RV use. Well, it's up, and the dollars are there. And it's because of two groups of people, Mark. And so my story is kind of about the freedom we should be facing as we get into our senior years, or, what is the common story between us and millennials? We want our freedom. We want to go, and we want to just kind of be carefree. So those are the two top growing markets for RV use, RV purchase and use. Experience craving millennials, because that's a big part of their life. They want new experiences, as you know. They want that more than job security even. And retiring baby boomers. And I know this because Donna was looking to buy a $100,000 RV with her other best friend, Pat. Yeah, and they were going to just plop it on wherever they're working on movies, they're movie caterers, and have it available to them when they want. So it's also interesting is when you look at the studies, you can get these really fancy ones, like the ones in like you're talking about Elkhart Lake or nice Winnebagos. They're like, you've seen them. They're like $120,000 or better than a double.
Oh, yeah. I'd sell my house, though. I wouldn't have that and a house. I'd get rid of the house.
Well, and I can't, my brother has a friend, by the way, and I did say it was a $450,000 RV. I'm not exaggerating. I was in it.
Wow. That's like Kylie Jenner shit. Really?
Oh my God, yeah, it is. It's got like storage underneath for your toys, like all that. But you can also get in entry-level RVs for like $7,000 to $10,000. They've got a bed, a small kitchen, a small toilet. That's all you need. It's really amazing. The movement's going. And they said that millennials are really the chief promoters of the idea that enjoying life in this day and age is all about experience rather than about things. And the movement lately has been to minimalize. My life has gone down when you guys got out of your co-op. I'm sure you minimalized your life. It's it's interesting. But anyway, there's actually a TV channel out there too called RVLifestyleChannel.com. It's an online channel if you want to check it out and learn more about it. So my quote ties in with that. I love this quote, and I love this woman, Susan Sontag.
Oh,
remember Susan Sontag?
Oh, of course, yes, awesome.
Yes, there's a name we haven't heard in a while. She's
dead, but go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, beautiful words from her, and I love this phrase, this quote. I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my list.
I
Don't you
love
love
that.
that? I think it's
I
great.
love that. I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my list. I love that. I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it on Facebook. By the way, Kylie Jenner could buy 2 of those $500,000 things with one Instagram post.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Obscene. Now,
That is.
It is. And I'm just going to end with something. I mean, normally we don't do this, but my friend Tom on Facebook passed away, and I didn't know it until I looked at his page because I hadn't heard from him in a while, and there were all these condolences to his husband, John. He had a second bout of cancer and didn't make it through this one, but he unfriended me twice and then refriended me after I reached out to him, which I think is a sign of real friendship. I mean, a lot of folks on Facebook, we're not really friends, but Tom was a friend anyways. He died, and I was very sad. And then my brother has esophageal cancer, and there's other stuff in my family, and time just and then sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to be 60 in October. So here's just something, little quote that I found because I was looking around for stuff, and it's from Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss, and it says, "How did it get so late so soon? It's night before it's afternoon. December is here before it's June. My goodness, how the time has flown. How did it get so late so soon?" So cherish every moment. Time is a non-renewable resource. Love your life even when it's not so easy. And that's it, Rick.
That's awesome, Mark. I love that. I love Seuss. His quotes are amazing. And thank you for sharing, and thank you for joining us, guys, on this journey called The Twist. All of our twisters, we love you very much.
Yep, we'll be back in 2 weeks because we're going to Rainbow Mountain.
Mark,
Speaking of old gay people, we're going to Rainbow Mountain next
we'll
week.
see you in 2 weeks. Have a good trip. Love you, mean it, Mark.
Bye, you too.
Bye.